Hi everybody, thanks for joining us on Facebook. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of the forecast changes that we've had over the last couple of hours and what you can expect for your Friday. So, new from the National Weather Service this morning, the winter storm watch is now a winter weather advisory for the Midlands. Winter storm watch is in effect for the low country from Colleton County toward Charleston, toward Berkeley, just to give you an idea of a few of the towns that are in that winter storm watch still. But for us here in the Midlands, it is that winter weather advisory that we are under. The ice storm warning is in effect from Horry County towards eastern North Carolina. So what does a winter advisory mean in this instance? Well, we're looking for an on and off wintry mix on Friday. This could produce some icing, an opportunity for some minor ice accumulations, possibility that some sleet or snow mixes in Friday afternoon or evening, and then create some accumulations of their own. So some of the roadways could be slick. There could be a few power outages if there's enough ice. Let's talk about what we know. We know that the precipitation is going to be on the lighter side. This is not a big storm system like last Sunday where there was a lot of heavy rain happening and then some spots freezing rain. The timing is going to be Friday morning into the overnight. Now, any precipitation that's wintry, whether we're talking freezing rain, sleet, or snow, it doesn't matter if it's light or enough, it really could still cause some icing. So we're going to watch for the greatest risk for that in the eastern part of the Midlands and towards the north. What's possible is that we could see some slippery conditions in those areas, and then there's a dusting of snow potentially on the back end of things later on Friday. This morning, it's rain, it's all rain, and it's going to last pretty much all day long. It's a very light rain across the area. This is the stationary front that's also going to produce our winter weather, but right now we're on the warm side of it, so that switch doesn't flip until we're on the other side of that low pressure system, and that won't happen until we move into the evening hours. So technically not officially a low pressure system yet. It's really more just a very broad area of low pressure overnight tonight. So your stationary front sitting off the coast, taking those shower chances with it. I want to show you two different models. This is our in-house model. It has an organized area of low pressure developing on Friday late afternoon into the evening off the east coast of North Carolina. That wraps moisture back into our area. So this would be the scenario where we're dealing with some travel impacts late Friday into early Saturday. And when I say early Saturday morning, I mean like before the sun comes up kind of situation. But not all of the models agree with this. It's a very similar setup, but just a little bit of a shift in where that low pressure develops with the ERB model. And you can see this model has a lot drier air in place because that low pressure is developing farther away from the North Carolina coastline. So minor differences, big changes as far as impacts go. Today, expect 40s and 50s throughout the afternoon time. It's a light shower, a nuisance shower, but nothing major going on. After sun sets, most of the rain moves out to the east. Again, all rain because it is above freezing. Friday starts off near the 40-degree mark, but by the time we get to lunch, we're in the 30s, so that temperature plummets throughout the day. As soon as we start dropping to 32, then we need to start looking for ice issues. And, keep in mind that those overpasses can drop below freezing before your thermometer on your car might tell you it is. So you're going to want to watch out for that once we start getting to that borderline 33, 34 degrees. Any rain that's falling, which as you can see, it's not a lot of rain, but any rain that's falling could help add to ice accumulations. This model does have some of that isolated sleet, rain, maybe some snow mixing in towards the evening time. But again, some of this is overdone, I think, The longer range model, the GFS and European, they're not as reliable necessarily short term, but they are good models and they actually keep the snow flurry risk mostly toward the north and eastern Midlands. This is not major accumulation territory, but there is the possibility that there could be some accumulations. Here's a look at the ice risk. You can see Interstate 95 corridor under that greatest risk for potentially dealing with some icing, but the real high risk for ice actually really isn't until you start heading toward Horry County in eastern North Carolina, where those ice storm warnings are. Last Sunday, we had ice storm warnings in the Midlands, and we had some big ice issues. This go around, we don't have the ice storm warnings, but we do have the winter weather advisory, so we are expecting at least some impacts, and this is my forecasting call for what I'm expecting. Limited impacts for the ice for the central and western Midlands, and especially as you go toward Aiken County, I'm expecting very limited ice threats for you there at this point in time. But as you start pushing eastward, toward I-95. So this includes Kershaw County, maybe eastern Richland, Orangeburg, Calhoun, Sumter, Clarendon. We're not necessarily talking about a widespread ice threat, but there could be some ice, and that could create some slippery conditions. How about snow? Well, I would say Interstate 26 southward, your risk of seeing any snowflakes is going to be pretty tough. It's going to be limited because the really cold air isn't going to start pushing in until the moisture starts moving out. I mean, it's plenty cold enough for snow, but the question is, does it phase with the moisture? So we do have the potential that it does in the northern Midlands, so Newberry, Saluda, Kershaw County, Lee, maybe Columbia, Lexington area. We see some flakes fly, maybe a little dusting of novelty snow. That would be Friday afternoon into early Saturday, but it all depends on if that low pressure develops. If it develops really close to the coast on Friday afternoon, we could actually get some measurable snowfall. So that's a possibility. Here's the guarantee. It is going to feel cold as can be out there. So midnight, we're near 40 on Friday. Feels like, these are your wind chills, you are already feeling like you are near freezing right off the bat. We get to noontime Friday, it starts feeling like we are in the teens, even though your thermometer is reading 32, 33. It is a raw, damp day when you factor in, 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We do even worse by 10 p.m. on Friday. It feels like it is in the teens. And how about potentially feeling like the single digits? I think some of that model guidance might be overdone, but I can guarantee you Saturday morning you will need the heavy jacket and you will need the air conditioning to be thrown way out the window, which is weird, because we're using the air conditioner on the first day of January, and here we are closing off the month with downright winter weather. Welcome to South Carolina. Just a quick what to know. Plain rain today. Your best chance will be toward the mid to late morning and through the afternoon for that rain, and then toward the evening for the eastern half of the state. We are expecting freezing drizzle to start mid-morning on Friday, mostly out to the east and then into the afternoon. There is a chance for some minor ice accumulations from that freezing drizzle or potentially maybe some mixing snow. But these accumulations are going to be minor, and your better chance would be toward the north and toward the east. So this is just a 9 o'clock in the morning update. Of course, we have team coverage on this. We are going to be letting you know all of the little minor details and forecasting changes as we get closer to the storm. As of right now, looks to be a storm that's weak enough that keeps the impacts relatively limited. But again, any winter weather can create impacts. It just takes one slippery puddle to have an impact in your life and in your yard. So make sure that you're just taking those extra precautions on Friday to avoid unnecessary travel. And of course, we'll keep you updated here. For News 19, I'm meteorologist Alex Calamia. Have a great day. Stay warm.